I start to put tension on my string drawback. I was like, okay, I'm gonna stop.
It's him. You can look at the horns when he's dead. I'm in the zone. Let the arrow go is perfect.
When they lose their front shoulders, you start. That's how you know it's smoking.
Went about 5-10 more yards. He probably went 20 yards. A little tip, then we would try to get back up. I saw him fall up.
We rushed 4 meters rod that night. We got like 156 and something like that, and then the next day we came out to 153 even.
You're listening to the White Cat Outdoors podcast, bringing you to the table where we talk about the outdoors.
Hello, everybody. It's episode 70 now. We made it through 69 last week. Just barely. It was a good time. We had a lot of fun. Hope you guys had fun for the 69th episode. And here we sit at 70, and Tom's having a good time.
I am.
Yep. And Nick's being quiet, but he's going to do a lot of talking today.
Maybe. We'll see.
I hope so, because we're talking about your hunt. Because I'm not going to be there.
Yeah, it's because you're a bum.
I know. Sorry, I got
Actually,
a real
I'm the bum.
job. Yeah.
I have no job.
You don't even have a fake job.
Oh, gotta love the old American dream, you know?
Sure do.
Times are tough.
Anyway, so yeah, what are we talking about? Where are you going? Tell us everything.
Everything?
Yeah, starting from day one.
December 30th, 1996. Let's fast forward.
Fast forward 25 years.
Yeah. So, Tom and I and our buddy Keith, who's been on the podcast, our cousin, Sam. I cannot get that one right down.
Yeah.
I was buddies with Sam before he became family, and I cannot stop referring to him as friend.
Yeah.
But,
it's only been, 3 years?
Yeah.
Something like
really? That. Wow. Oof. Anyways.
Feels like last summer.
Right? It does. I'm
It
pretty
couldn't
sure
have been 3 years, because
I think it was 2018.
no, because me and Carly were at the wedding together, and we've only
was
been together
2019
for 2
then.
years.
And you were 21.
So it was
Yeah.
2019.
2 years.
Yeah.
Any hooser. Sam, our cousin. And then...
He actually wrote the intro for our podcast.
Yes.
Oh, really? He did?
And he is my brother-in-law.
Wow. Just full circle.
Yeah. So he's going.
And then Keith's brother, who we have not heard from yet, and then Keith's brother's friend, who I have never heard of either. We got the second oldest house in the city of Athens,
That's wild.
and over in Greece.
Oh, you got like an Airbnb in Greece.
Yeah, we got an say that a few times after
You
a
good?
beer. Airbnb in Athens, Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
And that puts us like right. Sorry, the old dog in the background is just howling away. Sorry if you can hear that. Where was I?
Second oldest house in the town of Athens.
That's right. We're all over the place this evening. So we got this house, and the reason we picked this location is because there's a lot of public ground around the area. None of us, any of the 6 of us that are going, have never been there, but there's, like I said, there's a lot of public land, and my experience of hunting turkeys out of state is it's not that hard to find them. I don't know, Tom, you've done some out of state hunting, pretty much the same for you.
Yeah,
when it comes
if you
to
can
turkeys.
find a big chunk of hardwoods near a field in a ravine somewhere in there, odds are there's going to be turkeys. So
Yeah.
you can do a lot of preseason turkey scouting via
Just looking at maps.
a topo map.
Mm-hmm.
You're not trying to find pinpoint bedding areas and travel corridors and anything like that. If you can find hardwoods with a ravine and then a field all in the general vicinity,
You're in business.
yeah.
I definitely have put like a ton of clout into e-scouting the past several years. Like I would always look a little bit at maps, but it definitely helps you. I mean, nothing can compare to actually going out into the woods and scouting.
Right.
But looking at maps is crucial, in my opinion, to being successful. You have to be looking at those maps.
It cuts your actual scouting, like physical scouting, in half or even more than that.
Yeah.
Because you pinpoint all of these areas that you want to go physically scout rather than spending all your time trying
Yeah.
to find.
The spot that you want to actually scout.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we picked this location probably 3-4 months ago,
Mm-hmm.
and all 6 of us have been doing our own research and just trying to figure out the spots that we think are going to be best. And like I said, I don't know if we broke it down, but we're hunting in pairs, so there's going to be 3 teams, if you will, going out, and that way, like I said, we've talked about it on the podcast a lot in the past, where like team hunting works a lot better than
Yeah.
just hunting by yourself. Just gives a better dynamic in the woods and easier to fool a turkey in our experience.
Mm-hmm.
Much.
So basically, each team's going to be heading in their own direction, and
So how
hopefully-
much like property have you guys been looking at? I mean, you're in like state land that's huge, but how much have you like narrowed down where you want to spend your time or where you want to spend your time?
So me and Keith have been doing a lot of like conversing because that's who I'm hunting with. We've located a lot of spots north of us, and I mean there is some stuff south, but it seems like the highest density of field and like public bordering private farms and stuff seems to be in like the northern part. So we're probably gonna focus ourselves there, but we'll.
So like, do you have like 4 spots picked out or like a different
Oh,
spot
I've-
for every day, or you just gonna kind of play it
So-
as you got 10 spots, but you'll hit this one,
So
this
the way
one?
we're gonna go about it is we're probably Friday night. Keith and I will decide what spot we're gonna go to for Saturday morning, and that's gonna be just based off of it's all been over the phone because
Yeah.
he lives 3 hours away. So what we're gonna do Friday is get together, figure out where we want to go for Saturday morning, and that's probably going to be a place that centrally locates us around a lot of places.
It's easier to move
that
to
we-
somewhere else if it's not panning out.
Well, and then afternoon, Keith and I's plan is to take the Subi and just start driving around trying to find birds in other fields.
Can you hunt afternoon there?
nope.
Okay.
So basically, like I said, at noon, that puts us from noon till roosting time. We can just
Walk around, figure stuff out.
walk around or scout birds. I'm going to bring my binoculars. I might even bring a spotting scope and just drive around, spot fields, and see what we can't do. But the highest density of places we like is more north of us. So that's how we're going to break it down. I don't know how Tom and Sam are. They might just listen in on this. And
I was gonna say, I'm sure their planning's going on Friday night.
Yeah, I'm taking more of a simpler approach to it. Like I have spots marked out on the map that I want to hunt, and I don't have enough time to hunt them all.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna play it by ear. We're gonna go into one spot, and if there's a lot of bird action there, there's really no point in
Yeah, and
I
venturing.
agree with that.
venturing. Don't leave birds to find birds.
Yeah.
Is what I say.
It's a good pro tip.
Yeah. So that's my plan. If, spot 1 doesn't produce birds, we're just on to the next one. Shouldn't be overly challenging. I haven't spent near the time studying maps that Nick and Keith have, but I think we'll be in it. We got 4 days solid hunting, so if we can
Yeah, and once you get down there and start driving around, you might see a spot that you don't have on the map, and
that's
just
another
driving
thing.
by, you like, and then you pull your map up and start looking around and think, okay, maybe that's a spot we're gonna go to tomorrow.
That's one thing where we talked earlier how like it can't replace boots on the ground.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that can change on a satellite map on Onyx or something. Something that looked like dense woods or something could have got clear cut. You don't know.
something that looks like an egg field could have been not
Lined it up with pine trees.
agriculture for
Yeah.
the past 4 years, and now it's just an overgrown
Yeah,
goldenrod field.
Yeah.
But like you and I studied maps when we went and archery hunted Ohio. We nonstop looked at maps for 2-3 months, and then we got down there and started driving around a little bit, and we're finding a lot of places that we never found at all on the map. I mean, we may have glanced over them, but it looked a lot more enticing standing there looking at it rather than on the
Like
map.
standing corn in January.
Yeah, that spot was sweet. And that's something you can't see on a map. Even if it is an ag field, you don't know that there's going to be standing corn in January. I mean, obviously this time of year it doesn't apply, but
Yeah.
You can't see oak flats on the map.
yeah.
Yeah, we learned that the hard way from Keith.
Yeah, Keith told us it looked like there was a lot of oak flats in Maryland.
0 oak flats.
No flats.
There's a lot of oaks. Just
Yeah.
A lot of oak
no
hillsides
flat. Yeah.
and oak ravines.
Yes. Plenty of oak ravines.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's another thing. I didn't realize the terrain. Actually, that was pre-Onyx for me too, though. So that was I was just looking at Google Maps, which I don't think is nearly as effective as Onyx when it comes to looking at public ground. And
I agree.
And in Maryland, me and Frank hunted together, and I'm going to be honest, I didn't look at a map once before the hunt, and we were on birds every day.
Every day,
Well,
yeah.
it did help that we camped right in the woods, and most mornings we could hear birds gobbling.
I remember
as we're setting up like our tent and stuff.
I think it was the last day of the hunt in Maryland. Tom slept in, and I was hunting like over across the road by myself, and then I heard like 2 different sets of birds on my side, and then over on the other side, where right by the tent,
Below Tom's tent.
yeah, I could hear 2 more sets of birds. So I ran back over. I'm like, Tom, get up and go down there and kill one of those birds. And he jumped up, and they were gobbling while we were sitting there talking about it. So I went back to where I was at, and he went over there, and we didn't kill anything. But
No, that was tricky because they could be gobbling 100 yards the way a crow flies, yet it's 300 yards because they got to clear 2 ravines.
yeah, exactly.
Which it doesn't look like we're going to run into that in Ohio.
No,
Ohio
most
seems
of
like
Ohio's a
rolling
lot
hills
flat. Yeah,
and-
it's more like around here.
Yeah.
It's pretty flat.
Yeah, flat. I mean, you're occasional. There's a few cuts and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
but nothing like Maryland.
Yeah.
Which I didn't realize Maryland was like that.
Yeah, you're in the Appalachian Mountains.
When I think Maryland, I think blue crabs on the beach.
Nothing but
It's a
beaches.
very small.
Which I found.
Portion of
I found a
Maryland.
crab deep in. Well,
Yeah, we did.
Keith
That was
were, so-
wild.
Guess I'm trying to think. When I do long hunts, or not long hunts, but like all day hunts, like turkey hunting, where I'm gonna be in the woods from 5:30 in the morning until noon. I just wanted to briefly hit what I keep in my vest. Turkey hunting, just because you're like constantly on the move. So I always bring a little bit of water, obviously, and then some meat sticks for some protein, and then hydration gel, like little they're like little energy gummies pretty much, but it's basically just a little hydration gel, and it's just another quick thing, because like if you ever if you're out of breath or something, you start slamming cold water, it just makes it even worse. These little hydration gels are nice for just take a couple of those.
And you don't have to carry 6 bottles of water
Yeah.
in your vest.
Yeah, so that's another thing. That's another reason for that, because they're just like little squares. You can easily stick them in your pockets. Less noise than a water bottle, way less room. The flavors are I mean, like it says sour apple, but it's more like bland sour apple. But it's not
I've never
bad.
had one of those.
And they're, like I said, they're pretty nice for hunts
hunting,
like that. Yeah, like it's not. I don't really care for them like when I'm deer hunting, because I'm sitting in a stand all day.
Yeah.
But if I'm turkey hunting, I'm
Yeah, you're
extremely
moving
impatient. I'm
around.
moving all day. I still want like physical water, but this will help keep your electrolytes and everything in check while you're moving around all day. Because it was Maryland, it was nothing to move 6-8 miles in a day.
Yeah, easily.
So just got to stay hydrated. The meat sticks are nice because good sense of protein, and they got the extra sodium in there, so it helps hold water. So
Nick's
Anything-
a dietitian now.
yeah. Any special things you keep in your hunting vest, Tom, when you're going to be out there all day?
I mean, I always got a bottle of water on me. I don't typically, I don't have the meat sticks or the hydration gels.
Tom doesn't have like a fitness coach and all that.
I don't
He
either.
Brings her around the woods with him.
No, you and I turkey hunt different. I'm more of a waited out kind of guy.
No, sir.
Turkeys, have you ever seen a turkey in the woods? They don't
stop
sit
moving.
still. They're
Nope,
always
neither do I.
moving. Yeah, so I think you
In
have
order to kill the turkey, you have to be the turkey, Tom.
I think you have just as much success sitting in one spot calling, and eventually a bird's going to walk into hearing distance of your call. I mean, if you're running low on time, and you got to make something happen now, like maybe like the last hour, and yeah, maybe try a little running and gunning.
Mm-hmm.
But if you heard birds gobbling on the roost, and they shut up, I tend to try it.
You say it now.
Yeah, until it starts happening. We'll just take just 100 yards.
See, I just come by it by honestly. I just go right in for them.
Well, the last couple years I've done a lot better, and I've had more success that way.
Mm-hmm. Because I've definitely hunted with you before when there was like almost zero patience.
Yeah, there was a time where
And we've ruined a lot of hunts like that.
yeah, and there's
What? Are you okay?
yeah, there's been times where I hear a gobble on the roost, and I immediately scrambling in my pockets to find my call, and I'm calling every 5 seconds, getting this bird to gobble. And I've
Because
since
it's cool to hear them gobble.
it is very cool, but I've since learned that doesn't always help. So if I
Yeah.
know there's birds in the area, I really try hard to kind of just hang tight, because if you're walking through the woods, there's a good chance you can bump birds.
Mm-hmm.
And they hear and see really well, and if they see you walking through the woods, they're probably going to be a little call shy
Yeah.
after that.
Turkeys are dumb too, though. I mean, I've been on hunts where like somebody shoots, misses a turkey, or even kills one of them, and 20 minutes later, the rest of those birds are gobbling again.
Mm-hmm.
So like I guess the reason I'm so impatient when it comes to turkey hunting is most of my turkey hunts, like if I kill a bird, I was not sitting in that spot very long.
Mm-hmm.
Like probably, I don't think I've ever sat in a spot for more than an hour. Like,
yeah.
The longest I sit is from when it's pitch black until like the birds have hit the ground. That's probably my longest sit. Everything else is, half hour, 45 minutes at max.
Yeah.
And it's
And
probably
how far do you move before your next setup?
till I get a bird gobbling. If the woods are quiet, I'll move 200-300 yards, sit down. I say 200 to 300 yards, but I bet you it's closer to 150.
Yeah.
Woods feels like, and I have a horrible judgment of how far I walk.
Yeah, you do.
So thinking about that realistically, probably 150 yards, I'll move, sit down. But like I said, when the birds are quiet, I have a hard time sitting there. I just want to keep walking.
Mm-hmm.
Do
Usually
you ever
move to a
think they're
field.
quiet just because you're not telling them what they want to hear?
No, couldn't be.
That can't be the
No,
problem.
it's not the case.
No. You ever heard me call? It's beautiful.
It's not bad. It's pretty good.
Not bad.
It's pretty good.
No, I do keep my calling pretty simple.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a good caller at the calls I use.
Mm-hmm. Stick with what you know.
Well, yeah, I don't get fancy. I don't do a fly down cackle ever.
Mm-hmm.
Can't do one even if I wanted to. Alls I can do is I can cut, I can cluck, I can yelp, and I can do like excited hen yelps. Mixing all three together. I can purr, but I would never do it up like in close quarters. More of like a fighting purr.
Mm-hmm.
Just because the way I do my purrs is more with my tongue versus like rolling my R's.
Yeah.
Tom's purr is phenomenal, but I would never. I can't. I'm not Italian. Stuff.
Can't get that good purr.
No.
I can purr really well on a slate.
Yeah, I did. I actually, speaking of purring on a slate, I won best in show at that turkey calling competition we did.
Oh yeah.
You were there for that? No, that was Paul.
No, I
there with.
wasn't there.
It was a great time. If you can ever sit in on a turkey calling competition,
I can't
I
believe we
highly
never
recommend
talked about
it.
that on the podcast. That Tom and I and our buddy Paul were like in an official sanctioned NWF or NWTF turkey calling competition.
Yeah, it's wild.
Yeah, like I said, I had
Best in show
I
on
had
the purr.
on the friction call purr. Yeah,
That's wild.
it was pretty crazy. I do want to break this down. This is totally off topic, but it was incredible. So we were heading down to Wheeling, West Virginia to go to Cabela's because that's one of like the big Cabela's that.
Yeah,
It's
it's like a
close
big distribution center. They got
Yeah.
a warehouse and everything.
So it's massive, and we saw that there was a turkey calling competition going on in big. What do they call it? The Buck Library or something.
Oh, it was
big
in
bu-
Cabela's?
Yeah, it was in Cabela's at like the Big Buck Library or something.
I think
Whatever.
it's just a deer library.
Is it the Deer Library? Either way, one of those rooms off to the side. They were doing a turkey calling competition. We thought that it was kind of like one of those like little things that's like to attract people to Cabela's, you know, hey,
just
like,
having fun here.
we're going to do a little turkey calling, you know.
It's like at the baseball game, see how fast you can throw.
Yeah, exactly. We thought it was going to be like a pitching machine at a baseball game.
Yeah.
So
Instead, they were putting you on the mound.
well, yeah, so we get there, we find out that there's like legit registration. So I was like, okay. So we register up, and then they give us our number, and then we get put like behind this curtain kind of thing, like where all the other callers are, and then like the spectators are on the other side, and the judges are in a like cloth office, so they can't see in or out, like they're just locked in there. And I've got a homemade slate call from an old timer up the road. I have like an acrylic striker that was glued to a cornstalk.
Those are the best.
And I bought a box call while I was at Cabela's because there was a key run on it, or on like the card of what I had to do, and I couldn't get a key sound out of a slate. I needed aluminum, but I could get it out of a box call. So
you ran over a few aisles and bought one.
Exactly. Yeah, I bought and I bought the cheapest one. It was one of the Primo's Thunderdome ones that came with the slate, the mouth call, and the box
Got
call.
the package deal.
Yeah, so
Like
broke out,
$9.99.
yeah, broke out the box call. Yeah, like made out of balsa wood or something like ridiculous. So I'm sitting there and I've got like my calls just like in my hoodie on my sweatshirt, and there's dudes with like briefcases, and I mean there's guys like gobbling on slate calls. It was insane.
Damn.
Like, it was wild. And they've got like all these briefcases and stuff, and they're all talking about nationals last year, and they're qualifying. Like I guess it was like a qualifying tournament, like big deal. And like they're asking, you know, like how
The guys from, was it Avian
Avian X
were there.
It was like, yeah, when Avian X was like just getting real big. They were there like sponsoring the whole thing. And like I said, they're like, oh, how'd you do at nationals last year? And I'm like, what?
I didn't even know there was a
I'm like,
nationals.
yeah. So, you know, it's the most boring thing in the entire world. Like the judge, or not the judge, there's like the announcer. He's like, caller number 0039, please give your best rendition of the Kiki run. And then like you go up there and you do your Kiki run, and like the judges are behind the screen, and then they judge you and everything. In my per, like I said, I got best in show on per. But I noticed these guys, I didn't do well on anything else. I didn't place. It was just like there was like 5 calls you had to produce. And anyway, there's guys like Tom was in the mouth call class, and there was guys literally like hand gesture like turkeys in front of this screen.
They're literally like crouching down and making their arms into wings
and like literally like
really getting into it.
Oh, I mean, really getting into it. It was insane. Like just with their hands.
That's insane.
Absolutely wild.
So how did you do, Tom?
I don't know. I mean, I got good scores. Like the highest you could have got was they scored it on like a 1 to 20 scale, and the highest you couldn't get obviously is a 20. And all my scores were like 16, 17, or 18.
Nice.
But I
Tom wasn't doing the hand gestures, and I think that's what
throws him off.
I think you need like all 20s to win. Something at that level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they gave you the sheet at the end where it was like the top 4 of each call breakdown, and then like the top. Like I said, we weren't even close to like placing or anything. But it was fun. But I'd never do it again.
Yeah. No.
Never again.
No.
It's just so boring. Like we're just talking like there's not a single guy up there that could call a turkey in the woods that way.
Yeah.
With how much movement was going on, because like that's how I always learned was like keeping your motions like slight, and like, you know, I'm always like keeping my call between my legs.
And you don't have a briefcase of calls in the woods.
Oh God, no. No, I have like actually this year all I've got is 2 homemade calls from you. I've got a glass and a copper pot call, and then I've got my own homemade mouth calls, and then Keith's buddy from Blackjack Game Calls, which I'd like to get on a podcast.
Yeah, we should definitely talk to him.
But anyways, so he's got some calls that giving me and Tom try out while we're in Ohio too.
Nice.
So, yeah. Sorry, that was like a really long tangent off of Ohio, but
yeah, but it's turkey talk.
It's turkey talk. That's right.
It's turkey talk. That's all that matters.
Other than that, I mean, that really, Ohio, like, that's just kind of our, like, it's like spring training.
Yeah,
you will.
getting ready for PA.
They're getting ready for the big home opener.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're heading out. Well, when you guys listen to this, we're actually
Yeah,
gonna
you're
be,
gonna be way
whole
in it.
stack of birds already, probably.
Yeah, it's Wednesday right now. We're leaving Friday, hunting Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. So yeah, when you're listening in on Monday,
Keep an eye on the gram.
yeah, it's gonna be live updates.
We're going to be doing some filming while we're out there. So
Yeah.
that'll be,
Keep your eyes out for a Ohio video that Nick's gonna put together for us.
hopefully there's some kills on it.
One can only hope.
That really makes for a lot better turkey hunting video.
Yeah, it does.
Or even misses.
Yeah, misses are
Yeah.
good too.
Been there.
Even my missed video from last year wasn't that good.
Yeah.
It all
I
happened
didn't even know
so
it was
fast.
on film.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I filmed
choked.
it.
I choked.
Yeah, I know you choked. I know you missed. I didn't realize that the Oh, I did know the camera was rolling.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember that was the whole hype that Tom just got a little camera shy.
Yeah. Happens to the best of us.
Yeah, it won't happen again.
I'm sure Johnny Sins was camera shy the first time he was on.
Probably.
Hell of a turkey hunter and doctor
Plumber.
and astronaut.
Pizza delivery man.
He did it all.
He did.
Only a few of you will get that, but enjoy that laugh.
I got a good laugh.
I mean, that pretty much wraps it up for me. Like I said, this is pre-Ohio, really getting down to the wire.
Yeah, I'm sure
Getting
we'll have
busy.
a pretty in-depth podcast once you
Yeah,
guys get
post
back.
Ohio is going to be way more involved.
Yeah.
Fun.
Oh, Tom,
Nick.
we just had something come in the mail this morning
Yes, we did.
that has to do with turkey hunting.
Yep. Went online.
So,
well-
where did we hear from this secret package? Break it down from the beginning.
Scotty from Turks and Tynes
Yeah, we
told
just
us
had him
about
on.
a couple weeks ago on the podcast.
How did you hear about these nitro ammunition?
from Scott Thompson,
Yeah.
Turks and Tynes, and his buddy Brad.
Yeah.
So they're telling us about these turkey shells, and apparently they're out of this world. They're telling us, they got 400 plus BBs in a 10-inch circle at 400 yards.
400.
40. Could you imagine?
That would be insane. You could kill an elk with those.
Yeah. 400 plus BBs in a 10-inch circle at 40 yards.
Yeah, that's
I'm
insane.
like, that's wild. And they're like, you got to check them out. I won't shoot anything else.
We sat here for like 45 minutes after the podcast, and you guys were just looking at the website, just talking about it.
Yeah, they're pricey for a shotgun shell. I haven't shot one yet, but if they do what their website advertises, I'd say money well spent.
And we've had three people. We had Brad and Scott tell us how great they are, and then when we called Ohio, called the DNR office. Just talk. That's another pro tip. If you're ever going out of state, don't be afraid to call the DNR and ask any questions you have about game laws and regulations and whatnot. So anyway, we're on the phone with him, talking to him about what's permissible for turkey loads and everything, because each state's a little different. Whether you can use 8, 7, whatever 5309. There's certain places you can't have.
Yeah, they have
heavy
shot size.
Yeah. Anyway, so we called about that, and we had told him that we're using TSS and getting it from Nitro, and he's like, "Oh no shit, that's what I use. Like I swear by that stuff. Like I won't shoot anything else." Great guys over at Nitro Ammunition. So that made us feel really good too.
Yeah, and that's someone you don't even know them, like they're out of the blue saying, "Yeah, it's good shit."
So I'm really excited. The shells are made really nice. I just opened the box today. They actually the back is totally sealed. I don't know how they do it, but where typically it's crimped over.
Oh yeah,
it's totally sealed. I think imagine that's because I don't know if you've ever had a bunch of turkey loads or any shotgun shell in any pocket.
Yeah,
BBs end up in the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
or a lot of I can't remember. I used to shoot these turkey loads. They had these little tiny white pellets in them. Supposedly it helped keep the BBs from bouncing off of each other.
Yeah.
Kept
Fills
your pattern.
your pocket.
Oh yeah, it's a mess in your pocket. It's ridiculous.
So that was something I've never seen before. That already was that's nice.
That's nice.
That's luxury.
Yeah.
So that was pretty neat. So I'm excited about them. I'm gonna shoot them tomorrow. Really
Get the
really-
pattern down.
Yeah, because I remember me and Tom used to be, you know, if I could get 10, 15 BBs in the head at 40 yards, I was like,
Mm-hmm. Good to
fine.
go.
And I think with 400 in a 10-inch circle,
There ought to
There's
be
gonna
a
be a-
few in the head.
yeah, there's going to be a lot.
Yeah.
So,
Why don't we break down what we're taking out there?
yeah, go ahead.
So I'm
I'll
shooting
follow up.
a Benelli Nova, and let me backtrack a little bit to this Nitro Ammunition website. Basically, what they do is they take all the guesswork out of it for you. Because I've spent a lot of
That's
money.
a good point.
Yeah, I've spent a lot of money on shells and choke tubes trying to figure out which shell and choke my gun likes the best.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, you go on this website and you type in what gun you have, and then they tell you, with this gun, if you're using this choke in this shell, you'll get X amount of BBs in the circle at 40 yards, which I thought that was pretty great.
Yeah.
So obviously, I'm like, well, I want the highest shot count
Mm-hmm.
possible.
Which
So-
comes at a price. Basically, the more BBs you're getting in that 10-inch circle, the higher price your
Mm-hmm.
shells are going to be. Just
Yeah.
a disclaimer.
So I'm shooting a Benelli Nova. Went on to their Nitro Ammunition website, typed in Benelli Nova, and they told me if I shoot a Jeb's choke, it was .665 with the Nitro TSS shells, that I will have. It was
Which
like
is tungsten super shot.
correct, and it's 7.5 by 9 shot is what the BBs are.
Mm-hmm.
And in a 10-inch circle at 40 yards, it's guaranteeing it was 200 or 420 to 450 BBs.
Damn.
And yeah, so I'm like, holy
Wait,
smokes.
how many was yours?
It was like 420 to 450
Yeah.
in a 10-inch circle.
That's insane.
Yeah. So
Those are 3.5-inch
yeah.
shells.
So I got the Benelli Nova with my 3.5-inch Nitro Ammunition turkey loads, Jeb's choke, and I recently switched over from just the old lining up the dots and putting it on the head to a True Glow Gobbler Stopper red dot scope. Pretty excited about it.
Mm-hmm.
I think
You haven't used it yet?
no, because the way I look at it is at 40 yards, I've shot turkeys at 45, 50 yards, and when I line up my beads, it covers up like half the turkey.
Yeah.
So if I have, 400 plus BBs in a 10-inch circle at 40 yards, my shot pattern's not going to be that big where I just have to
Mm-hmm.
get in the general area.
Yeah.
I need to dial her right down.
Mhm.
So I switched over to the red dot scope so I can still see the whole turkey and just line
Yeah.
the dot right up on them.
I've been using the red dot for years and absolutely love it.
Nick swears by the red dot.
I do.
Mhm.
Lives and dies by it.
Lives and dies.
It's good stuff. Now, what else you packing away for your hunt? For your old turkey get up, or were you just trying to talk guns?
I was just talking guns, but
Guns
I mean,
and ammo.
I have my standard, turkey vest, some Woodhaven custom calls, and I got a box call. That's really. Oh, I do have some White Cat Outdoors originals, a slate. Or I'm sorry, no slate, a copper and a glass, and I do have, I believe it's the White Cat Split V,
Spread V.
Spread
Spread
V mouth call.
It's a good call.
Great call.
Good stuff.
So I got all
Any
that in my
decoys
bag
or
of
anything?
tricks. No, actually, I'm not bringing decoys. Sam said he's on the decoy
Gotcha.
thing. So
Good. Well, I was also talked into checking out this Nitro Ammunition.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm shooting it's now discontinued, but a Brown and Gold Invector 3 Plus. Basically, it's a auto load 3-inch shell, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And so I went on there, looked up Browning, Gold, Invector, and came up with the can't remember what the shell's called, but it's the highest one was the TSS, which is tungsten super shot.
Mm-hmm.
And for a 3-inch shell, they're talking 370 to 400 pellets in that 10-incher. So still
Insane.
a lot of BBs.
Yeah.
And they recommended an Indian Creek choke tube, .660, so pretty tight.
Yeah.
Picked up one of those and so that gun's all set up, ready to rock. And then, like I said, I already talked about, I got some homemade slate calls and mouth calls and whatnot. And I'm also going to be rocking some AVNX decoys this year, and then just bringing the camera so we can.
Yeah, I'm
hopefully catch some
excited to
stuff
see
on
the
film.
footage you guys get.
Yeah, it'll be fun. I'm going to try and do it. I don't want just kill shots, you know. I'm going to
Yeah.
try and
Little B-roll.
document. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of B-roll with
Have
you
Tom
know,
cooking breakfast, all
Yep.
that.
getting the coffee going in the morning, you know. Be fun.
Drinking some beers if you're good.
If we're good. If we're good. So I just got a old turkey vest I've been rocking since I was probably 13. Was that me?
No, it was me.
I was like,
I just, never mind.
you're fine.
That's pretty much it for me.
Yeah.
Frank, we'll miss you there.
I know, I'm pretty bummed I can't be there. When you guys brought it up, I was like just getting my new job, and it's just it's a heartbreaker.
Be a freeloading bum like me, and you don't even have to worry about it.
I know it. Yeah, I'll just quit, and then I can go hunting whenever I want.
Yeah, it's living the dream. So
Yeah, I'll definitely miss you guys. I'm a little upset that I can't be there, but I'll be there in spirit.
It's gonna be a turkey massacre, that's
I
for
bet.
sure. On that note, make sure you guys are all getting your turkey guns sighted in, getting ready for the season. If you got any questions, let us know. Not that we're experts, but we've killed a few turkeys. So, other than that, make sure you guys are getting ready to go turkey hunting and getting outside.